What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite YouTuber, austonholleman. I'm here in the very beautiful Tribe Hotel here in Nairobi, Kenya. Kenya is in Africa, for y'all that don't know where Kenya is at. Speaking of that, I'm going to tell you guys today exactly why I think that living in Africa will mature you a lot faster than anywhere else I've been to in the world. If you don't know, I've been to 5 continents. I've lived on 3 continents, that North America, South America, and now Africa. And I've lived in 3 or 4 countries so far. I can't really do the math right now. And I can tell you the way how you experience social life here in Africa, the amount of social interactions that you have in Africa, and the amount of vindictive, hidden agenda people here in Africa. Not saying these are bad people, but if you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. The experiences that you have here will make you grow up a lot faster than you would anywhere else in the world. And people definitely underestimate how important people are in life. That's why a lot of Americans are immature, because they have the isolated culture of staying in the house, especially people like my younger brother who's 16. His generation stays in the house. They don't even know how to say hello to each other. They think walking up to strangers and saying, hello, how are you, what's your name, is foreign, when that's how people have met each other for millions of years. So anyway, my first point is that people in Africa very often, more often than not, have hidden agendas, especially if you are a foreigner like myself. I'm from Texas. A lot of people might be friendly, but they don't always have the best intentions. And usually you can find this in Africa whenever you make people upset. For example, I was at one of my go-to places in Nairobi, in Lavington, and there was a woman that walked up to us. Someone was already off with this girl anyway, but she walked up to us and she wanted to just ask us, hey, why are you in Kenya? Like, what made you come to Kenya? I get asked that question all the time. I wish people would quit asking me that, because I have a million videos, but I answered it politely. I was like, oh, God sent me here. I was country hopping, whoop the whoop, and was the best place for me. And then she still doesn't understand why. And I know some people have hatred for their own countries because maybe things don't work the same way as they do in the United States. Like, if you want to sue somebody in the United States, they will be getting sued. If you want to sue somebody in a lot of African countries or even South American countries, somebody can be bribed and you'll never hear about it again, or it might not go anywhere because they have an incompetent court system. Long story short, she kept saying, why do you like Kenya? And I'm like, hey, the fact that you can't see any positive about your country is already a red flag about you. Because I don't like being in the United States, but I'm smart enough and intelligent enough to at least know why a Kenyan would want to go there, which is for a job or if they're a refugee or something like that. Those are only 2 reasons people go to the United States: for a job and to be a refugee. So that, on the vice versa, you should know damn well that if you have money in Kenya, it can be one of the best places you live in. You should be able to see that even if you don't have money. Long story short, she ended up talking to one of my other friends and she got upset. And the things that she decided to say about the 3 of us, we were all Black Americans, was that we were niggers. This is a Black person. She's dark. She's probably as dark as my hair, darker than me. And she called me a nigger, and she called us slaves, and that we needed to go back to our own country, which means that the entire time she was sitting there smiling, trying to be friendly, that's really how she felt. And the issue is, you don't know how many people feel that way about you when you're in places like this. And so it teaches you to be a little more observant of people's behaviors and not so trustworthy of everybody, which is another stage of maturity, which is not being naive. Second point is standing up for yourself, because extortion is big in other countries when you're an American, especially in African countries. It happens in Latin America a lot. It might be a little more dangerous in Latin America. Like, you might have a prostitute or somebody, or something may happen where you could lose your life if you do, if you're in Colombia or Peru or Brazil or even Chile, places like that. But here it might be a little bit more of a peaceful extortion in African countries, but it does happen. And you have to learn to stand up for yourself. Some of you guys have not reached that stage of maturity where you know how to stand up for yourself, but being in a place like this, you will learn. And it teaches you confidence, quick thinking, and having boundaries for yourself. I had this happen in the apartments I was staying at. I had this happen in Maputo, Mozambique, where you will get extorted at some point. It's not a matter if you will, and you will get extorted more than one time living in Africa. The third point is you are truly on your own. So if you guys are from the United States, and let's say you have, and this is going to be specific for Africa. It's not like this necessarily in Latin America, but let's say if you have an issue, you have an altercation, or you were done wrong by somebody, you were robbed, or let's say, you were beaten, something happened to you. In the United States, if you call the police, they will do their job. They're actually, the American police are ready to kill somebody when they show up. So somebody's either going to jail or dying. Now here in Africa, yeah, if you call the police, you're pretty much on your own. Like you have a better shot at doing street justice than depending on the police. For example, I remember, and even as far as security goes, like, yeah, if you get into a fight in a lot of African countries, security is just gonna pretty much watch. You could probably get choked to death. They're not gonna do nothing. Police probably won't show up. I remember in Ghana, I had drank some moonshine, and I thought this woman that I invited over to my apartment had stole my laptop and my phone. But really, what happened was I put it under the bed whenever she got there because I knew I was lit and I didn't want her to, so I hid it. But turns out I hid it from myself as well because I forgot I put it there. I called the police, and they said that I needed to give them gas money to come investigate the situation. So, yeah, you're pretty much on your own with that being said. The next point is that money is the key to everything in life. And this is not just Africa, but Africa will help you realize that a lot faster. Like I said, if you want to sue somebody in Africa, the person with the most money usually is going to win. That's not that's not specific to any country, but it is most countries that I've been to. I've been to 9 countries in Africa, and I think that can apply to nearly all of them that I've been to. If you want government documents to be done at a reasonable time, that costs money. If you want the police to do their job, that costs money. If you want security to do their job, that costs money. If you want anything to be done in Africa properly, it's usually not just standard for them to do that. Like, nobody's going to get fired for being late. If you want people to show up on time, you have to give them money. If you want your apartments to protect you, you need to pay them. That's usually how things go. And what this teaches you is how to leverage your money for your own personal success in your daily life. The next point is that distractions will force you to learn how to balance life. For example, here in Nairobi, if you want to be in a place where you can throw away all of your money, hanging out with women, drinking, going to nice restaurants, going to events, just doing everything outside of your home, this is the perfect place to go broke at. Like, you will enjoy your last dollar being here. But obviously you don't want to do that. So you do have to learn how to balance your money and how to balance life in order to sustain your new life living abroad. And I talk about how you should balance your social life. What are the right places to go to? And all the stuff that I learned over the years to improve and have the best outcome of being here in Nairobi with my social life in my guide. If you guys are interested in learning further more about that, I will go into full detail. It'll be tagged in the products below or in the first pinned comment, and I'll teach you everything you need to know. Now, the next thing that you will learn about maturing yourself in Africa is through dating through high volume. If you are a Black American, you are essentially going to be in high demand. And I'm considering the fact that you take care of yourself because a lot of women are interested in Black Americans, especially here in Kenya. And you will learn about, a lot of y'all are naive to women and y'all trust women with everything and y'all will give them everything right away. And this place will literally eat you up and spit you out and will teach you that that is not how life works. That will ultimately be your best maturity that you will learn from being in Africa. Have more dating opportunities, you will have a faster understanding of how human nature works. And I go further into that on the exact same guide that I told you about in the previous section. So the next way I would say that you would grow in maturity being here is through a way that I will never mature in, if you ask me, which is through negotiating. I actually hate negotiating. I'm a fixed price guy, but unfortunately, that's not how it works. And I'm going to give you an example. I remember I had 2 clients here in Nairobi, and we were going to the safari at Nairobi National Park, and we asked the lady, like, hey, how much is it going to be for the 3 of us? She calls them and says, what's your budget? And I'm like, how much is the safari for the 3 of us? So essentially, they want you to throw out a super high number and they'll say, yeah. And I don't like negotiating because it makes me lose trust in the seller. Because there's been times that they've wanted $400 for a couch here and I leave with the couch for 175. So then I'm like, okay, well, what the hell else are they lying about? Because that means everything in here is double or triple the price. And so essentially, I'm just a lick. So I don't negotiate. I still don't negotiate. I probably never will. So I just hire Kenyans to go in and negotiate for me because I don't have the patience to do it. And I'm more likely to walk away from something that I could make good use out of because I just will get offended by the fact that I could walk away with some 75% of what they originally asked me for. So another example is we're trying to work on a project here, right? And I'm gonna throw out a number. This business owner said that, hey, we already have somebody here that offered us the full price, which was 146. But then uh, the guy that we're working with was able to negotiate them down to 136. Now, why the hell would you be negotiating with somebody if you for less than somebody else if you already have somebody that's trying to buy for the full price? So that's why I said it makes me lose trust because now it's like, okay, now I'm just looking at you as a liar, and there's probably no telling what you'll do after that. It teaches you to adapt and understand that you don't have to be in the best conditions to succeed. And this may be surface level describing what's going on, but they don't have the exact same opportunities or where they could pull themselves up from the ground up here like we can in the United States. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you still see people in tougher conditions thriving, and you realize that there's really almost no excuse, especially if you're a foreigner coming here. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like and subscribe if you would like to improve your social life and you would like the right guide and the proper information to enjoy yourself here. As I said before, the products will be tagged below or in the first pinned comment. Click the link, buy the product, save yourself time, money, and frustration. I'll see you guys next time. Hello, everybody. It's Austin Holleman, your only friend, and I'm excited to announce that I am an ambassador for the historical event known as the Journey Back to Eden, or in short, JBE, where we will be inviting 200 African diasporans to Nairobi, Kenya to come relationship build and network and learn about trade here on the continent of Africa. On this 3-day event known as the JBE and 7 to 12-day tour, we will go into the new year here in Nairobi, Kenya, and you will also have the opportunity to listen to speakers at our business conference, such as Dr. Umar, at our business conference and cultural exchange expo. So I'm personally inviting you to this event this December. We only have 200 spots available. You don't want to miss this event. I'll see you this December.